Donald Trump has been ordered to pay more than $350 million in damages in a civil fraud case, with interest charges potentially adding another $100 million, and legal experts say even a man with the former president's wealth will feel the pain. He's not going to suddenly become working class, said former federal prosecutor Diana Florence. But it's just going to be a lot of cash. His fortune will be significantly reduced. The judge in the case delivered his final ruling on Friday, ordering Mr. Trump to pay the damages and banning him from doing business in the state for 3 years. The decision, however, stopped short of dissolving the Trump family business altogether. Mr. Trump denies committing fraud and is expected to launch an appeal, which would put the decision on hold until a higher court reviews the case. But if he wants to avoid paying the fine or having his personal assets seized while the appeal process plays out, he still has to deposit the full amount within 30 days. One calculation from Forbes magazine put Mr. Trump's total net worth at $2.6 billion. The New York Attorney General's office estimated his annual net worth at $2 billion in 2021. Based on those estimates, a penalty of $354.9 million would cost Mr. Trump roughly 14 to 17% of his wealth. On top of this looming penalty, however, he already owes the writer E. Jean Carroll $83.3 million in damages from a separate defamation case that concluded in January. His legal fees are also mounting as he battles 4 criminal cases at the federal and state level. These combined financial burdens, in excess of $500 million, may constitute more cash than Mr. Trump has available. Legal experts say he has several potential options. To avoid paying everything up front, Mr. Trump could try to secure a bond, a third-party guarantee that he can pay the full fine. That would cost him many more millions, with added interest and fees. He would also likely be required to put up collateral. To secure a bond from a bonding company, a person typically needs to put up about 10% of the total amount owed, Stephen Cohen of the New York Law School explained. In this case, that means Mr. Trump would have to pay a bond company $35 million to issue the bond. And he will not get that fee back. He could sell assets to raise enough cash. In a deposition in this case, Mr. Trump said he had $400 million in cash on hand. The BBC could not verify that sum independently. With his other legal liabilities and fees, however, that would not be enough to cover the latest huge penalty. He's got to think about what to do with his assets, how to perhaps liquidate businesses to come up with that money, said Sarah Krisoff, a former federal prosecutor. Much of Mr. Trump's fortune is tied to his real estate ventures. Forbes found his New York real estate empire to be valued at $490 million, including his flagship condominium skyscraper, Trump Tower, worth $56 million by the outlet's count. His portfolio includes many other properties around the country, with golf courses, condominium towers, hotels, and even a winery. His stake in the Trump Media and Technology Group, which operates the Truth social messaging platform and is pursuing a public listing, is estimated to be worth almost $4 billion. But how investors value that firm has swung wildly in recent months, and under the terms of the deal, he would not be allowed to sell shares to raise money right away. Something is going to have to be sold or realized in order to get the money to pay for that kind of cost, said William Thomas, a professor at the University of Michigan Ross School of Business. His portfolio includes many other properties around the country, with golf courses, condominium towers, hotels, and even a winery. His stake in the Trump Media and Technology Group, which operates the Truth social messaging platform and is pursuing a public listing, is estimated to be worth almost $4 billion. But how investors value that firm has swung wildly in recent months, and under the terms of the deal, he would not be allowed to sell shares to raise money right away. Something is going to have to be sold or realized in order to get the money to pay for that kind of cost, said William Thomas, a professor at the University of Michigan Ross School of Business. Under federal campaign finance rules, Mr. Trump could potentially use Save America to pay a court-ordered penalty, said Shauna Ports, a senior counsel at the Campaign Legal Center. He would not be allowed to make this payment with official campaign funds, she added. But fundraising might not be practical in Mr. Trump's case anyway, attorneys told the BBC. A large penalty would create a real cash flow crunch for him to come up with 9 figures in cash in very short order, said former federal prosecutor Mitchell Epner. He added it would be an extraordinary amount to fundraise from his supporters in a brief time period. According to filings with the Federal Election Commission, his Save America PAC started the new year with $5 million in cash on hand. No matter how Mr. Trump chooses to pay, it is clear the penalty is going to cause serious financial headaches for the former president. Trump, for all of his misrepresentations and lies about his wealth, really is a wealthy person, said Mr. Thomas, the business professor. But most people don't have $400 million lying around. Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you.